a bit nippy in the car. I don't know why I'm whispering. It's is it Tuesday? Wednesday? Tuesday? Doesn't matter. I mean, who knows? You could be watching this many, many years from now. Good evening. I am in my car in the Odeon car park. I have just been to see a film called The Menu. So I'm finding at the minute that I can't talk about the films I've been to see because of #spoilers. But I will do my best. The Menu is a film about the mega pretentious nature of sort of restaurant culture and this place that we've got to. I say we. I mean, I'm not really counting myself in that because I don't eat mega fancy food. But it's about that place where the super rich go to eat ludicrous food just to say that they've been, you know, oh yes, I've been to such and such a restaurant, I've eaten at such and such chef's table. So the chef in question is called Julian Slovic, and he is played by the ever excellent Rafe Fiennes, my mate Rafe. He's not my mate at all, but I interviewed him once 17 years ago now, I realise. So he plays the chef. The restaurant is called Hawthorne, and it is on a private island. So this is the level we're talking about. We're not talking about a nice new local restaurant. We're not even talking about like a top London or New York restaurant. We're talking about a restaurant that's on an island where you have to get there by boat. And cost-wise, I think it's something mad like $1,200 a head. Like, this is insane levels of quality and expense. So a bunch of people gather on a dock to take the boat out to the island where they're going to dine at Hawthorne. And a random assortment of people, as you'd expect. You've got a fading movie star, played by John Leguizamo. There is 3 guys, friends, who are obviously in finance somewhere. There's an older couple who've eaten there many times before, which tells you just how wealthy they are. There is a younger couple who are there, I guess, on a date. Tyler is played by Nicholas Hoult, who I just love. I love Nicholas Hoult, and he's come so far from being the boy in About a Boy with the stupid haircut and the stupid hat. And he's just grown into this really interesting, talented, tall man. I really enjoyed him in The Favourite, and everyone obviously was wanging on about Olivia Colman and Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, sidebar, who I've also interviewed. But Nicholas Holt's character in that just cracked me up in every scene he was in. I just think he's solid and interesting and British and funny and lovely. He plays an American in this, and Tyler is a foodie. You know, he's one of these proper nerdy, buys into all the, excuse my language, bullshit that goes around this sort of food, to the point where when Chef Slovic makes a speech at the beginning of the meal, he actually weeps. Like, this is the level of pretentiousness we're talking about. And his date for the evening is a young woman called Margot, or is she, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who again I really like. I find really interesting. A lot of people would recognise her from The Queen's Gambit, but she's been in all sorts of stuff. It's very unique looking. I mean, she's beautiful, she's quite striking, and again, talented, really talented. So she is there with him, and it becomes apparent very early on that she wasn't supposed to be there, that he was supposed to take somebody else. And as the film unfolds, it becomes apparent that everything about that evening has been curated and planned to the finest details. So for him to rock up with a different person is a major thing, is a big deal. The food starts to be served, and it's all that like foam, you know, suggestion of this on a hint of that with a whisper of steam. It actually always makes me think of that episode of Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom when they've got the other king and queen whose names I can't remember, but they're really posh and they're coming for dinner, and the king's in a flap and Nanny Plum serves them steam. She serves some steam from vegetable soup, not the soup, just the steam. So it's that, and the meal unfolds. Each course comes with an explanation. If you've seen the trailer, you know, you are aware that bad things happen. I wasn't actually prepared for how funny it was. It really made me laugh. I mean, it's dark, don't get me wrong, it's proper black humour, but it is funny. And yeah, just watching as it sort of spirals out of control and just goes bananas, it was really good fun. It's nasty in places. It's got a 15 certificate. There is some quite disturbing moments in there, but the thing it reminded me of, or that put me in mind of from like recent times, was Ready or Not, the hide and seek gone awry film from a few years ago. I went in not really knowing much about the menu, same with Ready or Not, just thinking, yeah, it looks interesting enough. And then it just is really good fun and really gory and just a bit of a romp, and that was how I felt about the restaurant tonight. Not the restaurant, the menu. Ralph Fiennes in the central role of Julian is just magnificent, and I love Ralph Fiennes. He plays a really good villain. I mean, obviously I've seen him play good guys as well, but this, obviously you can't help when he's smiling and it's like sinister as, because he's proper like puppet master, pulling all the strings and all of his guests, and you know, all of the staff in the kitchen, they just worship him. So obviously there's shades of Voldemort in that sort of menacing calm. I also thought about him as Francis Dolarhyde in Red Dragon, when they remade, well, they filmed the book Red Dragon again, in order to put Anthony Hopkins in it, because the first time they adapted that book it was called Manhunter, and I think Brian Cox Hannibal Lecter? I think he might have been, you know. The actor Brian Cox, not the science dude formerly of D-Ream fame. I digress. So yeah, it was really good fun. It was funny, it was shocking, definitely not scary, but yeah, it was a good old romp, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm really glad I made the effort to come see it. I was going to come on Sunday night, I ended up going to my friend's house instead, and then I was going to come last night. Did I come last night? I don't know. I didn't come last night, and then I made the effort to come and see it this evening, and I'm very glad I did. As the Odeon logo came up, and I said, I just thought, God, I love coming to the cinema. So I'm really grateful that I was able to, well, I say keep my Limitless Pass. I did actually cancel it, and then I've reinstated it, because a few friends made that possible. I got paid for some dog sitting, and I was like, yeah, I can just about afford this, and it's just so worth it, because I get so much out of coming to the cinema. So a big thumbs up from me for the menu. I would highly recommend it. It was good fun. I'm going home now because it's cold in my car. I mean, to be fair, it's cold in my house because cost of living crisis, I refuse to put the heating on, but I'm going home. Thank you for listening and watching, and I will be back soon with another review. That went well, didn't it? Katie out.